What happens when the school bully becomes the hero? I'll tell you. This happened at a middle school in Ohio. There was this one kid named Steven, and he was getting bullied every single day by the same group of seniors. He was being shoved into lockers, his lunch tray was getting knocked over, the usual stuff. I hate my life. Well, here's the thing. There was another bully at school, the biggest bully, this dude named Jake, and everyone was terrified of him. Well, I guess he'd been watching what had been happening to Steven. I just kept seeing it happen every day. One day something snapped. He sees them bullying Steven, so he walks right up and says, "Hey, look at me. You touch him again, you're gonna deal with me, okay?" The bullies immediately stop. Oh, hey, Jake, yeah, no, whatever, man. We're just messing around, no big deal, we'll stop. And just like that, they stopped messing with Steven. But Jake doesn't stop there because Steven was a new kid at school. He didn't want people messing with him for some reason. So Jake starts walking Steven to class every day, sits by him at lunch, basically becomes his bodyguard. You didn't have to do that, man. Yeah, it did. Teachers are freaking out because they don't know what to do. The biggest bully in school is now protecting the most vulnerable kid in school. Well, here's the thing. Jake got suspended for 1 week because another kid was messing with Steven and he pushed him into the wall. The school didn't care that he was sticking up for somebody, but he didn't complain. And when the suspension was over, he kept being buddies with Steven. And that is awesome. It's lunch. One group goes to sit down at their normal spot, but another group's already sitting there. This is our table. We've been sitting here all week. Nobody moves. It's a standoff. That's when somebody from one of the groups says, "Hey guys, why don't we all just share the table?" So they all cram into this one table. Awkward small talk at first. Then somebody from group A comments, "Yo, aren't you that guy that cried during the fire drill? It was one time, dude, the alarm was loud." Group A starts laughing. Well, group B fires back. "Well, didn't you fail the easiest history test last semester? At least I didn't pee my pants during prom." Now it's on. Insults are flying. Old drama resurfacing. One kid slaps another guy. Cat. A teacher walks over. "Hey, what's going on here?" Both groups go silent. "Nothing. We're just bonding." "Yeah, sure you are." The teacher walks away. For the rest of the lunch, they sit there silent. But the next day, they both sat at that table again, and instead of insults, they were actually telling stories and laughing. So, I don't know. I think they all became friends. Here's what happens when you're a frickin' Karen. This lady's about to board a flight. She storms up to the counter and is waving her phone in the agent's face. Hi, yeah, I paid for priority and that better means something good." Well, the desk agent said, "Ma'am, yes, this is Economy Plus, so you'll be boarding in group 2. Just a few minutes, okay?" Now, boarding hadn't even begun yet, but this lady loses it. I'm pretty sure I paid for a better plane ticket. You know what? I have so many followers. I'm gonna ruin you for this. This airline sucks. That's fine. Okay, I don't care. Just step back. Now, here's the thing. She threatens that she's gonna make a terrible video about the airline to ruin their reputation or to get this person fired, but no one cared. The thing is, that desk agent was actually gonna upgrade somebody to first class because there was one first class seat open. But now, it definitely wasn't gonna be her. Sir. Oh yeah? What boarding group are you? Now, he's saying this loud enough for the lady to hear. Group 6. Well, it's your lucky day. I'm upgrading you to first class. And ma'am, I'm downgrading you to group 6. Now, this entire time, a bunch of other passengers were watching this thing go down. They were invested, and they cheered. Stop clapping! Screw you! And she threw a fit, and she was thrown out of the airport. Good. So this kid gets paired with the laziest person in class for a group project, and he decides to handle it in the most savage way possible. They're supposed to be splitting the work 50-50. 50-50. So he messages his partner one night, "Hey, you want to do the research for the slides?" The next day he responds, "I don't know, you pick what I do." So the guy decides to split it in half. "All right, I emailed you half the slides, send me yours when you're done." Because that sounds fair, but then after that, radio silence. "Yo, bro, did you finish?" Nothing. He tries talking to him during school. "Hey, dude, gotta go, man." The heck? It's the night before the project. "Yo, man, are you done?" Partner responds, "Yeah, don't worry about it." Presentation day, they're up third, and this guy's got his part ready to go. Clean, put together. He did his research, he's solid. His partner shows up with nothing. Literally nothing. "Bro, where's your part? I thought we're just gonna wing it." The teacher calls him up. "Okay, let's see what you two have." They stand up and this kid goes first. He goes to his slides. "Okay, so we each did half of the work. I'm gonna go first." He presents it flawlessly. He's confident, well-researched, and then he looks to his partner. "All right, man, your turn." He freezes. The partner gets up there to try to wing it, and he presses the button to go to the next slide. And all the slide said was, this section was assigned to Carlos. Bro, you didn't do it? You didn't do your part? No. He gets full credit. Yes. You get 0. And the kid sat down, proud of himself, while his partner stood up there completely shocked. The rest of the class just laughed. Yo, that's savage. This kid and his mom and dad were kayaking one day, and they get home late. They park at the lake house and they leave the kayak strapped to the top of the car. Nobody thought twice about it. Well, this kid is waking up at 3 in the morning. His dad's creeping into his room. Dad, what's going on? His dad, peeking out the window, says, shh, don't move. The mom then appears, dead serious. Come on. They head downstairs and the dad gets on the phone with 911.
911, what's your emergency?
And then the front door slams open so hard, the entire house hears it, and the mom's voice blasts. Drop that kayak right now! The kid's peeking through the blinds, and there she is, barefoot, standing in the driveway, holding a large butcher knife, screaming at 3 grown men who are literally trying to steal the kayak from the top of the car. They also have knives. The dad sees this happening, and he freaks out. But hold on, 1 second. Sandy! What are you doing? The mom's out there just slashing this knife around. The 3 thieves freak out and they run away into the woods. The police finally arrive. So what happened here? Here's a knife. I scared them away. They were trying to steal the kayak. Now talk to my husband. I'm going to bed. And that was that. What a freaking legend. So it was senior prank season, and this one might have been the most beautiful senior prank this school has ever seen. It's the last week of school, and the seniors show up. They've got a ladder, a few backpacks, and they're carrying bags upon bags of something. How much you get? 30 pounds. You're kidding. Nope. 30 pounds of confetti. They sneak into the assembly hall where the school organ is. Now the school was about to have an assembly, and for some reason at every single assembly, the music teacher plays the organ. Now it's a giant old organ with these large pipes, and these pipes stretch up to the ceiling. With the ladder set up, they climb up, and they start pouring confetti straight down each of the organ's pipes. And not just a little confetti, pounds of it, until pretty much every pipe is stuffed. Well, only one teacher is in on it, and that's the music teacher. He gave them the green light because that old organ was being thrown out anyway. But nobody else knows about this, okay? So, 2 hours later, the whole school is crammed in for this assembly. The principal gives his speech, and then the organist starts playing. Whoosh! A cloud of confetti blasts into the air like fireworks while this beautiful organ music is playing. With each note, another explosion of confetti goes off. And now it's like a blizzard. Students are cheering. They're trying to catch it. It's beautiful! But the teachers are really confused. Oh my god, what's happening? What's happening? The principal's standing there looking around like the ceiling just collapsed. Meanwhile, the music teacher is just calmly playing the organ while this crazy storm is happening. It's a beautiful sight. By the end, the floor is covered in confetti, the seats are all buried, and the seniors are just looking around like, wow, we did that. And that was it. That organ never played another note, but that prank went down in school history. This bully got smoked. So there's this kid named Mateo. He's super nice, he's quiet, and he always walks around in these old beat up New Balance shoes. And then there's Jackson, super loudmouth, and he wears these $600 limited edition Nikes that everyone compliments. Hey yo, check the drip. Nice shoes, Jackson. Thanks. Now normally Mateo ignores Jackson because Jackson's constantly making fun of Mateo's shoes. But one day in gym, Mateo had enough. Jackson was like, bro, you're still wearing those nasty ass crusty shoes? You're probably super poor, you freaking idiot. Everyone laughs. Mateo doesn't. Because here's the secret. Mateo is a walking sneaker encyclopedia. He can spot a pair of fake sneakers from a mile away. And nobody knew this about him. And Jackson, those $600 shoes, Mateo's known for months that those are fake. And he's kept quiet because he's a nice guy. Until now. When the class is doing laps around the gym, Mateo sneaks out and heads to the locker room. He opens Jackson's locker because, of course, he never locks it. And he walks out to the gym floor holding the shoes like evidence. Everybody, yo, dude, those are my shoes. Since y'all want to talk about my shoes, let's talk about Jackson's shoes. He pulls out his phone and he begins comparing pictures of fake shoes to the ones that Jackson has, and they line up. So this is a fake. Look at Jackson's. See that stitching? That's fake. Look at the logo. It's completely off. It's in the wrong font. Look at the sole of the shoe. Completely discolored. These are only worth 25 bucks. Everyone's like, what? Dude? So you're a freaking fraud then, huh, Jackson? No, I mean, yes. I mean, no. Bro, you can't clown people for their shoes when you're wearing freaking replicas. I paid more for my New Balances than you did for those fakes. And from then on, nobody made fun of Mateo's shoes ever again. Man, yeah, legend. The craziest senior prank of all time. It's right after graduation. 20 to 30 seniors meet up in the school parking lot, and they're all carrying these giant bags, and in the bags are about 5,000 bouncy balls. You know the ones you throw on the ground and they just shoot straight up? Well, these seniors had already graduated, so they were done with school. They had somebody sneak them in through the school side door. And during this time, lunch is in full swing. 200 to 300 kids are in this cafeteria. The seniors head up to the balcony that overlooks the cafeteria. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Every single bag is dumped over the railing at once. A rainbow waterfall of bouncy balls falls down and slams to the floor. Instant chaos, because the second they went down, they were coming right back up. It was like a wave of bouncy balls heading towards all these kids eating. It was instant chaos. All the seniors scatter away, and the kids in the cafeteria are going crazy. What is happening? What is this? I need my mom. One of the security guards sees one of the seniors running away, and he tackles her. Come here, come here. Ah! He drags her to the office, and she folds immediately, snitches on everybody. Every one of the seniors got a $200 trespassing fine, and they were so mad at her. Well, years later, one of them checked her Facebook page, and guess what she became? A security guard. Yeah, that's no surprise. What a snitch. If you talk, I'm writing your name down, and you sit alone tomorrow. Understand? At this one small town school, the lunchroom rule was brutal. No talking at all. If you talked, your name went on the small board, and you had to sit alone by yourself at lunch the next day. Well, there was this one menace of a kid named Owen, and Owen was trying to cause some trouble. Watch this. He decided to drop a bunch of money in front of this one kid sitting down eating his lunch. The kid goes, "Oh, hey, is this yours?" Name on the board, alone tomorrow. This kid's a menace. He never says a word, but every single lunch period, he's trying to trap kids into talking. And people are falling into this trap. He's flicking food at people, accidentally bumping trays onto the ground, straight up kicking kids in the shin. What the? And the teachers think Owen's a saint. Every time they look over, he's just sitting there, arms crossed, smirking. By the end of the month, the quiet lunch board is full every single day, with kids spread apart all over the cafeteria because they were sitting alone, except for Owen. Eventually, the school's like, that's it. This is obviously not working, so we're getting rid of this rule. And the rule was gone, and it was all because of Owen. What a frickin' rascal. So this school was doing Spirit Week. You know, Pajama Day, Wacky Wednesday, stuff like that. Well, on Wacky Wednesday, this one kid showed up in a full suit of armor. Boots, gloves, gauntlets, the whole thing, 3 layers, night helmet. It was epic. And the school let him keep it on. Well, after second period, these 3 8th graders, who were the school bullies, decided to make fun of him. Hey, nice outfit, Tin Man. What you got under there? Yeah, nice outfit, metal boy. Well, he's just standing there, not saying a word. The bullies didn't like this, so they start to attack him. What's your problem, dude? Yeah, what's your problem? My foot. One punches his shoulder, his hand is shaking, it might be broken. Some kid kicks him in the groin, his foot is hurting. And the third one, big guy, punches his knee and literally breaks his wrist. Ow! My foot! My foot! My wrist, guys? Guys, my wrist! It's broken! It's broken. Principal shows up and calls it a school fight. The kid in the armor gets suspended for a week. Even though he did not touch any of them, he literally just stood there in his night armor that the school let him wear. And the bullies, they didn't get in trouble at all. And that, my friends, is messed up. Yo, this is crazy. So one day, at the beginning of school, students arrive and it's already chaos. Not a single classroom door in the entire school will open. Teachers are in the hallway jiggling their keys, yelling to the office, "What is going on with this door?" Yeah, mine's jammed too. What the heck? Well, it turns out, overnight, somebody broke into the school and hammered pennies into every single door keyhole. The principal comes storming down the hall, trying to use his master key on all the doors, but it wasn't working. "Get maintenance now." The maintenance guy shows up with pliers. "Yeah, we need more pliers, boss. We've been sabotaged." After a while, students have just been standing around, not knowing what to do, because the doors won't open to any classroom. Eventually, the school just decided to send all the students home. The teachers are livid, but the kids, they loved it. As everyone's leaving, they notice a bunch of locksmith vans begin to pull up. It was an entire operation. Dude, this is crazy. I know, but hey, no school today. Nobody ever found out who did it, but that day lives on as the day pennies canceled school. Nice. There was this one sophomore named Gus, and Gus lived right next to the school. And every day he would walk to the school with his pet goose. Not a joke, a real goose. All right, come on, buddy. He would walk and the goose would be strutting right next to his side. The crazy part is this goose was incredibly well behaved, and the teachers loved him. The goose would sit next to Gus in class. "Good morning, class. Good morning, goose." Even the principal loved him. But there was one teacher, Mrs. Redmond, who hated the goose. "I hate that goose." Didn't trust it, didn't like animals, didn't like students either, but one morning Mrs. Redmond storms in, looks at the goose and goes, "That's it, this is not a farm, get that goose
Off of school property now.
And the goose is just sitting there like, "Bro, what did I do?" And somehow Gus gets a detention, and that's when Gus kind of snapped. So it was a small school, and Gus knew that Mrs. Redmond always stayed late to grade papers or tests, alone in her classroom. So after school, Gus walked home, but before he left, he went into Mrs. Redmond's classroom. She wasn't in there yet. He put Goose in the back of the classroom. So when Mrs. Redmond finally walked into her classroom to grade papers, she sees the goose and she screams. Well, that scared the goose, and the goose freaked out and began pecking the heck out of Mrs. Redmond's face. She didn't come to school the next day, but when she did return, she called for the execution of the goose. But Gus kept the goose safe in a shed in his yard. Unfortunately, Gus didn't bring Goose to school anymore, but Gus got his revenge, and that's all that mattered to him. These kids are insane. The circus was in town for this one weekend, and back behind one of the tents, tied to a little metal post, was a llama. Friendly, calm, just chilling there, tied to the post. Dude, look at the llama. I like him. Let's call him Serge. Hey Serge, wanna go for a quick walk? Dude, no. They weren't trying to steal him, they were just trying to get a picture of them walking Serge. So they undid Serge from the post, walked him around a little bit, and tried to put him back. But here's the thing, Serge didn't want to be put back. He kept following these kids around like he'd known them for years. Dude, Serge is following us. Bro, he's like our friend now. So they started walking him around the frickin' town. They brought him to the convenience store, strolled him through the town center, and then they said, dude, let's try to get him on the bus. Yes. They walk a literal llama onto the public transportation. The bus driver was like, I don't get paid enough for this. Just sit down as long as you pay for the llama. They rode the whole bus line with the llama on there. Bro, look at Serge. Dude, he's loving this. Crazy thing is the circus didn't even realize the llama was gone until one of the workers of the circus saw multiple Snapchats from multiple people around the town who had taken a picture of Serge. But before anybody could freak out too much, the kids walked the llama back to the circus and tied him up. All right, Serge, it's been a great day. It's been the best day of my life. And that was it. No harm to the llama, no damage to the circus. It was the most peaceful llama kidnapping in the history of the world. Beautiful. It's 7th grade and this kid Lucas brings a bunch of Costco gum to school. Tons of packs. Every single flavor. And he never made a big deal about it, but he would pull them out here and there so that people could see. And naturally, they would ask for a piece of gum. And when they did, 50 cents. Oh, I don't have any money right now. Oh, that's fine. Pay me later. And that was his thing. You know, at first people were like, he's not gonna ask for that money later, you know? It's just a piece of gum. But that's where they were completely wrong. Because after he would give someone a piece of gum and say, pay me later, he would pull out a tiny notebook and write down the debt in that notebook. Everybody had a tab. Their name, their flavor, and how much they owed. But the thing is, he wanted this debt to grow. He would walk up to them. Hey, so you still owe me from last week, but I just got this crazy new watermelon flavor. You want a piece? I'll just put it on your tab. And he just kept stacking debt on top of debt on top of debt, until finally he decided it was time to collect. He goes to the two biggest kids in class. Carl? Mordecai? Yeah. I'll give you 10%. Here's the list. Get me my money. And they would go around school with the list. Hey, you got Lucas's money? I'm here to collect. And these kids were big and intimidating, and people did pay him back. Lucas made like $175 before this whole thing was shut down. You gotta respect the hustle, I guess. Mr. Donnelly was the new history teacher. Perfectly combed hair, crisp tie, he was very well put together. Then one day, one kid finds him on a bodybuilding website. Apparently, Mr. Donnelly used to compete in bodybuilding competitions. Well, he saw this picture of him, spray tan, oiled up, posing like a bodybuilder, and his bodybuilding name was Titan Steel. Well, this kid tells a bunch of people in his class, and the next morning, good morning class, how are we doing today? Good morning, Titan Steel. He's shocked. Excuse me? Oh, sorry, Mr. Donnelly. And by lunch, everybody knew Mr. Donnelly's secret. Hey, Mr. Steele, you gonna bench the vending machine? What you got for lunch today, Titan? A bunch of chicken breasts and protein powder? Oh my god. And he's hearing it all day, every day, whispers of Titan Steel this, Titan Steel that. By January, he freaking snaps. If one more person says that name, I am quitting Titan Steel. The next day, he was gone and there was a sub. He actually quit that job. I guess he would rather be unemployed than be Titan Steel. Wow, that's absolutely insane. At this school during lunch, milk cartons were free, and they were all just sitting on this table. So one day, these three fifth graders, they stockpiled 20 milk cartons, shoving them in their backpacks, in their pockets, up their sleeve, and they take them out to recess. They walk over to the brick wall on the side of the building, and they just start chucking the milk cartons against the wall. Yeah, milk! Milk! The milk cartons are exploding, milk is spraying everywhere, a crowd gathers. Kids are cheering, they're watching this like it's a frickin' sporting event. Well, that's when somebody says, yo, the principal, he's coming! Oh crap. The three milk chuckers put their hoods up and they just disappear into the crowd. The vice gets there. Alright, who did this? And it was instant snitching, names and details. The principal immediately starts searching for these kids. And there were close calls, but these guys were really sneaky. Hiding against benches, behind trees, in the slide. Somehow, they never get caught, and the rest of the day is a frickin' mission. At lunch, the principal and the vice principal are posted at the table that these kids usually sit at. Oh crap, he's right there. Let's eat in the band room. Milk! That entire day they managed to escape the wrath of the principal. And when school was over, they went home. But the craziest part is, some random kid cleaned up the milk wall by himself, just because he wanted to. When the principal went out and asked him why he was doing this, why are you doing this? Because it's the right thing to do. That's legendary. Yo, this teacher messed up. So it started a week earlier when the fire alarm glitched, and it began going off every 30 minutes. People took it seriously at first, but when they realized it was a glitch, everybody got super annoyed. This has got to stop. And it was happening on and off for 3 days. So a week later, it eventually stops for a bit. And then a week later, it happens in Mr. Halverson's math class. But he is so fed up and traumatized from the previous week that he just keeps teaching over the alarm. Here we go again. Now, E equals MC what? MC squared. A few students are confused and they stand up. But he's like, sit down, this is fake, we are not doing this again. And the whole class just sat there, staring, listening to the piercing sound of the alarm while being taught math by their unhinged teacher. Then, the door slams open. A firefighter storms in, full gear, smoke behind him, and he looks furious. What are you doing? Get out! The building's on fire! Everyone scrambles, backpacks are flying, the building is actually on fire, and Mr. Halverson is just standing there like, oh no. So yeah, Mr. Halverson, during an actual fire, forced 27 students to stay in his classroom. Yeah, he definitely messed up. There's this one Shell gas station in town, and one afternoon, a middle schooler decides that he is gonna run it. So he's standing in this gas station after school one day. He grabs one of those squeegees and he just starts wiping down cars. Hey, how's it going? Just cleaning up your windshield for you. Thank you, young man. The person would then pay for gas. No, get back in your car. I'll pump it for you and I'll put it away when it's done, all right? You are so sweet. Haha. Here's a couple quarters for you. And he just does that over and over and over again. He's getting quarters, sometimes dollar bills. And the best part, the actual clerk inside the gas station is this super old guy, so he doesn't really know what's going on at all. So day after day, this kid's working there like it's a full service gas station, cleaning cars, pumping gas, checking the air in the tires. One lady even goes inside and tells the real clerk, "The new guy you hired is fantastic. We all love him." Oh! The clerk squints out the window and sees this kid wiping down a big SUV. Well, as long as he's not breaking anything, I'm fine with it. And for like a month straight, this kid ran his own after-school business at the Shell gas station and nobody stopped him. Now that is a real hustle. So this girl takes her boyfriend out for his 23rd birthday. Small Italian place, no reservations, just first come, first serve for the tables. Well, these two wait 30 minutes, and they're finally taken to a table. They order some drinks, they're settling in, they're having a very nice time. Then this family walks in. Mom, dad, 2 kids. The hostess tells them, "It's gonna be 30 minutes. The mom then loses it. 30 minutes? My kids are hungry now. This is ridiculous. People are taking up big tables when they're just couples. And she literally points right at this girl and her boyfriend. Like them. Yo, I think that lady's talking about us. Oh my God, she is. The mom then marches over to their table. Hi, you two don't mind moving so me and my family can sit here, do you? You're young. You can wait. The girlfriend's jaw drops. Excuse me? So get up. Get up, please. Now. She's losing her mind. The waiter then comes over and is like, "Ma'am, you can't just ask guests to give up their table, okay? You're gonna have to wait like everybody else. This is ridiculous. There's no respect these days." So she goes back to the front. Her whole family looks super embarrassed of her, as they should be. She was out of line. And then when the hostess finally got them a table, it was right by the bathroom and the kitchen. So they were very uncomfortable. Good. This kid scammed his entire school. Now, this kid didn't always do this, but he was very broke. So one day, he overhears that this girl named Jessica is having a birthday coming up. Doesn't even know her that well at all. But that night, he walks to the CVS by his house, and he buys a $2 birthday card. And the next morning, "Hey, so Jessica's birthday is tomorrow, and I'm getting signatures on this birthday card, and I'm also collecting something small. Hi, can you sign this? I'm collecting something small for Jessica's birthday. Hey, I'm collecting something small for Jessica's birthday tomorrow. She's been having kind of a rough year, and I'm just trying to make her feel seen." People start signing the card. Some hand him $1. "Oh, that's actually so sweet of you. Yeah, here's a few bucks." He's walking the cafeteria with this birthday card. That day, he got 20 signatures and $30, and he signs the card last. He says, "You got this. We're all rooting for you." What? The next day, he walks up to Jessica with this huge smile. "Hey, happy birthday." And he hands her the card, but not the money. She starts tearing up. No, because this is actually so nice of you. He does it again with a different kid. Anything helps. He's had a hard month. Boom, another $40. And he tries it again. "Alex Johnson's birthday is tomorrow, and I'm collecting some money. His dog just died." Little did he know that Alex Johnson was sitting at that table. "Yo, I'm Alex, and my dog's fine. What the heck?" Crap. People start catching on to this shenanigan, and within a week, the school's investigating this kid, and it's became this giant deal. But he made $217 before this whole thing collapsed, which is actually kind of genius and kind of impressive. Come on, you gotta respect the hustle. She was holding up a stapler like it was a weapon. This is not a toy. Okay? Then she passes it around the class so that everyone can hold it and look at it for some reason. Now, this was the first day of first grade, and these kids are looking at this stapler like it's gonna frickin' explode. One kid's cradling it like a baby. Good stapler. Then it gets to him, and without hesitation, he takes that stapler and staples the palm of his hand. The room goes completely silent. Why did you do that? The whole reason the teacher did this was that the students can familiarize themselves with the stapler and not hurt themselves. But this kid said screw it. And now he's in pain. They rush him to the nurse. He gets a staple taken out of his hand. And the funny part is, he did the exact same thing the next week. Some people never learn. Behind the stage in the auditorium, there was this old supply closet. Small, dark, the door was kind of hidden. Nobody ever used it. But this one high school junior, he finds it. He cleans it up and he starts bringing stuff in. He puts cushions on the floor, extra pillows, a lamp from his house, and he had this nice big blanket that had cats on it. At first, it's just for him. He's got a second period independent study, and he starts taking full-on naps in there. But eventually, he tells two of his friends. Then a couple seniors hear about it, and people start asking. He turns this cushiony nap room into a rental. $10 gets you that room for an entire period. One person at a time, quiet, clean, no stress. And here's the genius part. He would set up guards. A kid who would sit by in a folding chair, pretending to read lines. But really, this person's just there to keep an eye on things, make sure the person doesn't get disturbed in the nap room, and make sure that teachers don't come by looking around. And they rotate guard duty based on who had the period free. It's a whole system, and nobody ever gets caught.
এই ঈদে আমি তোমাকে কিছু একটা দিতে চাই। কি দিব? চিঠিটা আমি লিখছি তোমার জন্য।
তুমি আর টাকা দিবা না?
না আর পারবো না, আমার কাছে নাই তো, আর কতবার বলবো?
তুই অয়নকে মাসিস কেন? অয়নের আব্বা এসে বিচার দিয়ে গেছে আর বলে গেছে তোকে নিয়ে গিয়ে যেন পা ধরে মাফ চাওয়াই নিয়ে আসি।
কি রে তবু দাঁড়াছিস কেন? চল ঘরে চল। না ঘরে যাবো না।
আমরা আগে ঈদের সময় একজন আরেকজনকে ঈদ কার্ড উপহার দিতাম।
তুই আমার ঘরে কি করিস?
তোর কাছে সরি বলতে আসছি।
সরি বলে চলে যা।
বাবা আসবো?
হ্যাঁ আয়।
আমার তো খুব পছন্দ হয়েছে। এ দেখেন মিউজিক বাজে, এখানে লাইটও জ্বলে, একজোড়া ঝুমকা।
ঝুমকা? হঠাৎ ঝুমকা কেন?
আমি না এত সুন্দর কার্ড কখনোই দেখি নাই। আচ্ছা এত সুন্দর কার্ড অয়ন ভাই কই থেকে পাইলো বলেন তো?
কিন্তু আমি যেদিন তোমাকে ঝুমকা পরিয়ে দেব সেদিন তুমি চোখে কাজলও পরবে।
আরে আপাতে আসেন, ভিতরে আসেন। না ভিতরে যাবো না।
থাকেন আপনি?
কই বাসায় পাওয়া যায় না।
আমি যখনই তুন আপুর সাথে গল্প করতে চাই আপনাকে।
আপা মানে আপনি কিছু মনে করেন?
ভাই আমি তো কার্ডটা নিবো ভাই, আমি তো বলি নাই আমি নিব না, শুধু আমার টাকাটা এখনো ম্যানেজ হয় নাই। তুই আমার ঘরে কি করিস?
তোর কাছে সরি বলতে আসছি।
সরি বলে চলে যা।
এটা তো আবার মিউজিকও বাজে। কালকে সকালবেলা অয়ন ভাই আমাকে এই কার্ডটা দিয়ে গেছে। তপু ভাই কেমন আছেন?
ভালো, তুমি?
ভালো। আপনাকে তো বাসায় পাওয়াই যায় না। কই আচ্ছা আপনি আমাকে ঈদ কার্ড দিবেন না?
বাবা আসবো?
হ্যাঁ আয়।
আমার তো খুব পছন্দ হয়েছে। এ দেখেন মিউজিক বাজে, এখানে লাইটও জ্বলে, একজোড়া ঝুমকা।
ঝুমকা? হঠাৎ ঝুমকা কেন?
আমি না এত সুন্দর কার্ড কখনোই দেখি নাই। আচ্ছা এত সুন্দর কার্ড অয়ন ভাই কই থেকে পাইলো বলেন তো?
কিন্তু আমি যেদিন তোমাকে ঝুমকা পরিয়ে দেব সেদিন তুমি চোখে কাজলও পরবে।
আরে আপাতে আসেন, ভিতরে আসেন। না ভিতরে যাবো না। এটা
ফর্সা মুখে এসে যখন পড়লো মনে হইতেছিল একটা পরীর বাট।
এদিকে তনুকে তো এত টাকা দেয়া লাগে না, তোকে এত টাকা দেয়া লাগে।
তো আমার মতো এত বাইরে যায় না।
এখন পড়তে হবে না, বাসায় গিয়ে পড়ো। ভালোবাসা ব্যাটারিতে চলে না।
আমি তোমাকে কিছু বলতে চাই।
হ্যাঁ,
কি আমরা ভালোবাসি না? দেশটা আমিও ভালোবাসি, তোর চাইতে তো কম ভালোবাসি না, তাই না? খা পানি খা।
বাবু তুমি আমাকে এতদিনেও চিনলা না?
ঠাড়া একটা চট করে দিব, কান দিয়ে ঝরঝর রক্ত পড়বো। তোর আমি কই নাই যে মায়া ভালো না, ছায়া খাবি আগে বলছিলাম। উল্টা পাল্টা কথা বলবো না, বাইরে যাবো আমি কালকে ওকে বিয়ে তো নাই। ও আচ্ছা, সে নাই না? তো মনে করো দেখছস একটা বাক্য একটা অক্ষর কই দিকে ঘন্টার পর ঘন্টা আটকে থাকস, তোর কথা শেষ করতে হয় আমার। যা তুই
তোকে টাকা আমি এমনিতেই দিয়ে দিব। গরিব মানুষ দেখলে না আমার মনটা এত অসহায় হয়ে যায়। আমি
মতিন তাহলে ঠিকই বলছি।
এই মতিন কি বলছে?
আপা তোরা ডাকছি, তুই আপার লগে গিয়ে কানাডা থাক, এনে তোর কিচ্ছু হবো না। তুই আমাকে টাকার জন্য ওর সাথে প্রেম করছো।
কত টাকা আছে তোমার? হ্যাঁ কত টাকা আছে তোমার?
বিয়ে কি তোরে বিয়ে করে লেগে রাজি হয়ে গেছে? অবশ্যই অবশ্যই করবে। আচ্ছা